Hey, everybody. Last week, we hope that you went off with a bang. Some of you did, and some of you didn't. But as you can see, we're still here in Sorrento, Italy, toasting
Already toasted.
toasting to our friend Linda's amazing wine. Cheers. Welcome to Do It Like Danny, starring Cousin Louie with Cousin Angelo. And starring me. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. I hope you had an amazing holiday. Hopefully you shed a little patriotic tear in there somewhere for things that are going on in the universe, right?
A patriotic tear.
I don't know. I mean, it's like so crazy. I mean, there are so many topics that we could talk about. I don't want to get into politics unless Angelo's here.
Yeah.
You know, he loves that.
Loves it.
But as you can see, we're still on vacation.
Buongiorno.
But we're taping earlier now so that we don't have to pay extra euros for the noise ordinances here. So I get to be loud this episode. And many of you had commented about my last episode saying, wow, Danny was so demure. Lies. And I hope you enjoyed last week's episode. It was very ASMR. It was like, hi, welcome to Do It Like Danny.
Yeah, we were pretty quiet.
We're very quiet.
We're not usually quiet on this show.
I'm not quiet on this show. Never am I quiet on this show.
I was listening to it the other day, and I was like, I could understand if somebody tried to listen to this at 9 a.m. It might be a little rough.
It's a lot. I'm a lot.
It's like a freight train at 9 a.m. I get that.
But I just want to just give you my energy because it's always like, wah!
It's definitely a representation for sure.
And for those of you that are listening, you shouldn't be listening.
Mm-hmm.
You should be watching our show. I'm gonna just start choking people through the radio or through whatever you're listening to. Well, if they're listening, they probably are listening through a radio.
We might have to put a little expiration date on that.
Ooh.
I mean, I don't want to, but
Like
I
milk. Like
might have
milk.
to. Yeah, we want to become a YouTube show. I mean, that's what we kind of are.
We need the YouTubers. We need to watch it. And also, too, Louis been putting in extra duty work and really putting some really great graphics into each of our episodes ever since we began. This is the third week, fourth week? What are we in now? 4 months?
I don't know, man. We recorded early, and then we took like a week off. Then we went right back, and then we recorded something new.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like
We do a lot.
we do some stuff.
But thank you so much for watching.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Dana. And
I did not get any facts this week, so we must have been on point last week.
well, it was just about me. I mean, how could she fact check me?
I
Although
thought she
maybe
would
I think
try.
She has before.
I would think she would try it once.
She's like, that story's not correct. I'm like, really? Because it happened to me. As you can see, our cousin Angelo is not here.
Mm-hmm.
He is in a long process right now of becoming Angela. Oh, shit, I wasn't going to tell anybody.
Angela.
Oh, my God, I'm so sorry. I wasn't supposed to say anything. He's undercover right now. He'll actually be back in a couple of more episodes, and we'll have an opportunity to talk to him, and he'll be able to share as to why he's been out. There's been some things that have been happening, and I can't wait for him to share. It's good. It's not good.
It's not good.
It's not good. I don't know why it says good. It's good for me. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. He's going to be like, you bitch. How dare you?
He's really going to start parking friends, dude. Yeah. You better stop. You better stop. We cannot lose Celebrity Corner.
So Celebrity Corner with the K will be back because we need to find out what happened to Diddy Mo Diddy Mo Diddy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Did he go free?
I don't know. I really don't keep up like Angelo does. Like I said, I'm still in the Amber Heard case. I'm
Catching up.
Not paying attention there. Sorry.
What chapter are you
and
on?
as you can see, we're in beautiful Sorrento. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's a lovely morning here in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
So Louis and I kind of go back and forth. You know, when we're with Angelo, we have to rehearse every single show because, you know, Angelo misses his cues.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I hate to beat you while you're becoming Angela, but why not start now? And so, you know, as we go through these things, we always wonder about, like, what topics to topic out.
Oh, yeah. I think you've had a little too much in Sorrento.
We always wonder which topics to talk about. Yes, there are so many crazy things that are going on in the world right now, and it just doesn't feel right talking about that. Not that I don't want to share that. We have shared that in our first episode, But I also don't want to like beat a dead horse.
Yeah.
I mean, what's happening is horrible. What's happening is, I don't know. I mean, there's really no words to kind of put to the actions of what people are doing and what's
Well, there's words. It's just
fuck you.
yeah, what's gonna change as of right now.
I think that the only thing that I can say is like I don't want to incite violence, but all we can do is protest against it. I've seen people. Now you can follow. There's I think it's Block Ice. Is blockice.com or is that an Instagram? My cousin Helen sent it to me. Oh shit! I don't have my phone. Oh, there's Dana.
Fact check.
She's a colonizer. She won't know. So when she, So I think it's so. God, I don't want to give misinformation.
I know, right?
So there is a website called Block Ice,
Or an app.
called Block Ice. It's one of the others. Do your own fucking research, damn it. We can't do everything for you. My God. And you are able to input information as to if you witness the white vans and the Hummer and all of them riding around. Like today they were in MacArthur Park.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. In MacArthur Park, and they filled up 4 van loads of people and off they went. Apparently they've set up some sort of like central command in Marietta, which is like Temecula. It's like off of the 215, another hour and you're like in San Diego, right?
Yeah.
So they've set up out there, and it's a very sad situation. Jokes are flying. Some people are saying that they're calling on their own family, their mother-in-laws, and I
That's
get
terrible.
it. Those are funny. Some of them are funny, and some of them are not.
Yeah.
They're taking kids. They're taking everybody, and so I don't want to go into this and be blah 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 blah, depressing. Yes, this is a platform, and yes, we should talk about it, but I'm not quite ready yet. I think we need more information. I'm kind of waiting to see what else is going to happen.
You are? I feel like I'm over it now. It's already going where we already said it would go.
Correct.
And I think that's
And also
such a
too,
problem.
we haven't. I want Angelo here too to talk about the
Yeah.
big ugly bill and all that stuff. So I know. It's like it's so It's just exhausting.
Yeah, the last time he was president, I just stopped politics altogether because I already knew it was all bullshit. So why? And it was freeing, but this time around, so different. I don't want to be caught with my pants down.
Yeah.
It's just not okay.
I always get caught with my pants down.
For lack of a better word, I apologize.
Sorry. I didn't mean to go there, but I wanted to make this a little lighthearted.
Ay.
All right, so we're done talking about all that depressing stuff, and hopefully there is a silver lining at the end of whatever cloud you live on. So, with all that being said, let's move on. Let's talk about me. As a gay man, which I am. I know you probably didn't know that. Shocking. And now you do. Hi, welcome. As a gay man, I will say it's actually really hard to find tribes.
What do you mean by tribes?
Good question, Louie. So what I mean by tribes is, there's the gamers, and they spell it Gaymers, right? Like I'll play games, but I'm not like religiously playing Diablo and all those other different Spider-Man and, with the headset and gaming with other people. Like I played them, but that's just not me, right?
Yeah.
I like to dance. I like to imbibe every now and then.
Well, you're social.
I am social, but for being social though, it takes a lot out of me.
Yeah.
I know that sounds like, oh God, Danny, you're always so crazy. And like, now that I'm getting older, now that I'm becoming more seasoned, sometimes my seasoning runs out. I'm just saying, okay? You gotta be like, I need to get a little refill. What I've begun to seek out is, listen, I have a wonderful friend named Matt who's a drunk. And I have a wonderful friend named Rue who locks himself up inside of his house like Howard Hughes.
Ay,
And
Rue, come on.
I try to drag him out, and I love Rue to death. And then there's George. We love George. So I got to talk to George.
Oh,
Yeah, I
nice.
got to talk to George. That was fun. I had a really good time talking
Hi,
to
George.
him. That was good. And I love the way that George put it, too. He said, listen, he goes, what you said about us and our interaction at Disneyland, he's like, you just reminded me of like the friends I used to have. And of course, obviously some of them have gone because of the AIDS crisis and Reagan. A lot of older friends of mine that had gay friends, passed. And I remind them, of the craziness and the insanity and how at the end of the day, no matter which barbs are thrown, you walk away and you're like, oh my God, that was so much fun, right? And you don't think twice about it.
Yeah.
So I've been looking for that, not kind of looking for that, but I've actually been looking for that. And so, on Facebook dating, you can just request friends. So I've been doing more friend things more than liking in the whole universe of everything. I actually met a new friend named Brian, and we met a while ago. It's been a minute since I've had an opportunity to kind of talk about him because we've been going back and forth. And so Brian's story is actually very intriguing because eventually I feel like we're going to have him on the show. And the reason why is because Brian is in an open relationship.
Oh, okay.
He's in an open relationship, and him and his husband, or I don't know if they're husbands. They've committed to each other. I don't want to get this wrong. Sorry, Brian, if I get this wrong, because Brian went back to listen to season 1.
Oh, wow.
He listened to all the episodes in season 1 and season 2, and then now he watches us on YouTube. Like everybody else should be doing, watching us.
What's the verdict though on those first two?
He's like, you know what he said? He goes, I feel like I know you really well now.
Oh, interesting.
Because he said, listen, I arrive on the scene and people don't know my backstory, right? Yes, I'm crazy. Yes, I'm this. Yes, I'm that. But I mean, there's also a deeper side to me, which I don't share very often. Yeah. And I think that was season 1. I shared quite a bit.
Yeah.
Because it was my first boyfriend and it was like all these other feelings. And it was, it was, and introducing Angelo and Darnella and everybody to the gang. And it was very cathartic for me. And I know that I've said this before, so I don't want to keep repeating myself. It was extremely cathartic for me. All of these episodes are cathartic for me because I get an opportunity to divulge the details of my life. And for those of you, like you said before in the beginning, where you didn't have the opportunity to kind of like hang out with me or get to know me, now you kind of can hear the stories and where I was in my life at that particular time. So Brian is in an open relationship.
Leslie, hey. This is my boyfriend Derek. This is Derek's boyfriend Ben.
Hi.
Hey. Oh, wait. Sorry. What's the situation? What do you mean? How does this work? Derek is gay, but he's straight for me. But he's gay for Ben, and Ben's really gay for Derek. And I hate Ben.
It's not that complicated. No.
And I don't even want to mess it up because there's like a whole hierarchy thing. It's like I joke and I call it I joke and I call it brother husbands because you have sister wives, right? I call it brother husbands. I call it brother husbands because it's like there's a lot that goes on because there's rules and then there's days that you can there's like all these. Oh, it's very interesting. And so I always have questions,
so
right?
It's like regimented, scheduled almost.
I wouldn't say it's scheduled. I just feel like you have to be a very secure person to be in an open relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's always that possibility that you're second in command could meet somebody in third in command, and then the third in command goes into the first position. Like there's a whole, you're right, it's very regimented. There's a whole platform of things, and I don't want to like butcher it because Brian can explain it a lot better. But anyways, Brian and I met and we had lunch and we just knew that we were going to be like instantaneous besties.
Yeah.
He's extremely insane like myself. He's an amazing cook. They live in Ventura. And so I drive to Ventura often to go out there. He bakes me bread, and it's like, oh my God, all of his food's amazing, right? And so he invited me to a day after 4th of July party.
Okay.
I actually got invited to so many parties. Like I felt like a princess. I felt like a princess. I was like, oh my God, you like me.
You really like
me. But I just couldn't say yes to everybody. Yeah. I literally got invited. And people were like, will you make the potato salad? And I was like, no. I had to say no to so many people. I ended up making Rice Krispies, like over 300 Rice Krispies I made. Yeah, and I'll explain to you all the different parties I went to. Because I definitely did it like Danny last week. I may have done it a little too much of doing it like Danny.
For sure, I would agree.
Because I'm a little tired today. And after flying back to Italy, I'm like, after doing all that in LA and then flying back to Italy to shoot the show, I'm a little tired. Miss Zoe at the pool is probably like, where the fuck are you? And there's a reason why I haven't been swimming also too. So I have like 85 things to talk about. So back at the ranch. So Brian and I have forged this friendship now, and he's just really wonderful. And I like it because he's older, and he's like, we're peers, and that makes it easier. You know, you're not dealing with all these young kids.
It's the same rules.
Yeah, and so, I've asked questions about his open relationship, and, I'm always inquisitive. I always want to know. But anyways, he invited me to his after 4th of July barbecue.
Yeah.
And he made, like, when you get barbecue pork?
Yeah.
He made like barbecue chicken, but that style.
Oh, interesting.
They call it char siu, right? And it was really good.
Is it chow su?
Is it oh my God, that's so terrible,
Is
right?
it char siu? So I'm thinking maybe
It's like pink. They do the barbecue.
Yeah, like the
pork.
skewers, right?
I'm sorry?
Like the skewers?
No, it was like chunks of chicken. It was good.
Interesting.
He did tri-tip, and then he did ribs.
Oh, okay. And it's cut like a cube? Like kind of
No,
like that?
it's actually pieces of chicken, but when you cut into it, it's got like this
Huh. Okay,
Yeah.
so I don't know what you're talking
I'll
about.
have to have him. Brian, you have to make some.
Yes, on the
Just
show.
on the show.
We'll film it. That'd be kind of fun.
So I'm going backwards, but I started, this was Saturday, so I had made potato salad.
Mm-hmm.
So I did say no to a lot of people about asking me about potato salad. But I did it for Brian because I was like, I wanted him to taste it
Mm-hmm.
because everybody loves it. And in all honesty, my grandmother taught me, Bama taught me, and
Our grandmother.
yeah, I'm sorry.
My grandmother.
Sorry, my grandmother, my Bama. I love your Bama.
He pushes me away. Are you a part of this family?
She taught me, that potato salad, and it stuck. I really haven't changed it that much other than the pickles.
Mm-hmm.
I took that up there. I drove up there. It took me it took me an hour and 45 minutes.
And where are they?
They're in Ventura.
Oh, okay.
It was far.
Yeah.
It was far. Because you go out there quite a bit.
I have to.
So when that, when you come over that hill, like everybody stops for no reason. I'm like, why is everybody stopping? Just hit the gas.
Just hit the
Why are
gas.
we hitting our brakes?
Yeah.
There's nothing at the bottom of the hill.
They will ride those brakes all the fucking way down.
All
I
the way
don't know
down the
how
hill.
they do that.
What is going? And there's nothing. I'm like, is there an accident? There's no reason, but you're gonna cause one because everyone's like,
Yep.
So they, your brakes are heating up. People are smoking. It's crazy. So I came over the hill. I went out there, and I was exhausted at this point. I was so tired, but I wanted to go and enjoy myself. And so going back to what I said before about I've been looking for a tribe, and so how Brian and ours and mine's friendship kind of flourished was because he said, I'm having a game night, and I was like, oh my God, yes. I said yes. And so he invited me over, and these other guys, we all didn't know each other, and it became this like group now. And because they live closer together, they meet together more often to play games. Well, from there, another guy runs this club called Out with Friends with a Z, and they get together like LGBTQI whatever plus thing. People, and they pick locations in Ventura. So whether it be Thousand Oaks, Oxnard, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And so they've invited me, but like there's always something going on. So I'm hoping to go in August to meet new people. But back at Brian's party, I met a group of people that were fucking fantastic. And what I loved about it was, the parties that you go to out here, everybody is trying to prove something. And,
Okay.
and along the lines of fake it until you make it, right?
Yes,
Which
yes.
is great. And listen, that's fine for you, and not for you, but for the people that are doing that. I'm not a hater, the people out there, it was just different because they were there genuinely to have fun. Perfect example would be here in LA, everyone's like, so what do you do for a living?
Yes,
Like,
everybody
everyone asks
always
you,
wants to know that.
like, what do you do for work? And you're like, oh, I do this, right? And then people go, oh, well, they try to like relate to you, and it's like, ugh, it just becomes boring, right?
Yeah.
Nobody ever like has real conversation. Everybody talks about the number one thing people always ask, which I think is the worst question in the entire world, and that is, what do you do for work?
Yeah.
Right? Who fucking cares?
Yeah.
I'm a porn star. Okay?
Actually, I might say that one day. That's a good
Yeah.
line.
I have an
Shit.
OnlyFans. That's how I pay for everything.
I sell feet pics.
I sell feet pics. Yes, I'm fat, but people love fat
They
feet,
love
just so
fat
you know.
feet, bro.
If Kermit loved Miss Picky, that's all I can say.
It's actually a really good example.
Right? There's a lid for every pot, Lily.
Yes,
a lid
yes.
for every pot.
Every
but what
pot.
was great about this particular group that Brian introduced me to, all the game people, was we played games.
Yeah.
Not one person said, "Oh, what do you do for work?" No, it was like we played Uno, but we played No Mercy Uno. Have you
Okay.
played that?
Probably. You'd have to probably refresh my memory.
So
though.
it is the Uno that is mirrored after, oh God, what's the guy that got burnt?
Ooh.
And he's in the red suit. It's a Marvel character. Oh my God, Deadpool.
Deadpool. Okay.
Deadpool. Oh my God, I'm just bad at these trying to get better. So Deadpool, it's like a Deadpool themed where it's called No Mercy.
Huh.
So like it's like draw 20.
Oh, wow.
Draw like it's like you can change the direction multiple times. You can even there's a card that you put down and then you have to pass your cards to your right. So you could lose your hand.
Holy
like if you're
shit.
playing, right? And there's another feature where you can actually pick a person and swap cards with them, right? So it's pretty ruthless.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
So you're like,
that's what it
"Oh."
should be called. Ruthless.
Yeah, you're like, oh, Uno, right?
Uno
and then someone's
ruthless,
like,
bro.
F you, and they pull a card, like swap cards with me, and you're like, no, right? And so it's a lot of fun.
Actually
and
does sound like fun.
That was the best part about it. It wasn't like what kind of car do you drive. It wasn't like, it wasn't anything like that. You
Yeah.
know what? It was nothing that was surface.
Why do you think that is, though?
That people in LA are surface?
No, like
And
what?
fake?
What made this group so like we just nonchalant? They didn't care.
I don't know. We were having it goes back to fortify what I said about George. I feel like I found more Georges.
Got it.
And because we were throwing, me, and I thought, the
Oh, yeah.
colonizers, right? And they were like, oh my God, that's so funny. People were like laughing. And then there was this girl who they were making fun of. They were calling her Topanga, and they were calling her like
From
all
Boy
these
Meets
different.
World?
I don't know why they were calling her name was like in Ayaki. I don't know. They were like they were butchering her name, but when you do that with family, right? You're like, whatever, Debo.
Yeah.
And you make fun.
Yeah.
And she was hilarious. She was Puerto Rican, and she was making us all laugh because she was talking in half Spanish and half English. And I was like, stop saying Spanish. We're gonna I'm like, we're white people. And then it was like the whites against the Latinos. But it was fun. It was all lighthearted. Everybody was trying to make light of the situation, of the things that are happening in the world, right? It was laughter. It was pure laughter. Honestly, I had the best time ever. And I felt sad. I wanted to stay longer, but then I had another evening event to go to that night. And, my friend Brian, religiously, he cooked everything. And he's like a little Danny Verdugo. He was crazy in the head. You could see him, he just wanted it to be perfect. And it was perfect. It really was. Everything was perfect. And I met his mom. His mom was hilarious. I met the sister. And at one point, it was like gays and straights because the straights were inside and all the gays were inside the clubhouse.
Yeah.
It was fun, though. It was a really good time. I really felt like for the first time in a really long time, I didn't feel uncomfortable.
So this is something like you kind of been looking for, I guess.
Yes, I've been looking for a group of people that just want to have fun.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about drinking until you pass out, kind of we're so
actually
silly. But actual people that were drinking socially. Nobody was there to get smackered.
Yeah.
Nobody was getting smackered because that's what made them feel good. Everybody was enjoying themselves. They enjoyed the food. We kept talking about the food, and then they're like, "Oh my God, your Rice Krispies are so good." I'm like, "My white trash Krispies," right? And it was good. It was so good, and I can't wait to go back out again.
Yeah.
To go hang out with them and meet more people. And that's the best part because they belong to a group of people that act that way.
And it's weird because I find that a little strange because I would have assumed that you could find that here. You know what I'm saying?
So,
and why do you think you haven't?
Well, I have found that here. My wonderful friend Linda has introduced me to all of her friends.
Yeah.
Right? But they're all straight.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a gay one in the group. And don't get me wrong, they're fantastic. And so another part of my story is they get together every single year before the 4th of July or in that area, and they go to the Hollywood Bowl. So Linda puts it together, and she gets a group ticket sales. We get seats all the way in the back of the theater, right? Because we're so loud, right? Well, I went last year, and I decided not to go this year because I didn't know if if I was going to have a job, and I got a job, and I didn't know like what was going to be transpiring, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't want to like, overextend even though I overextended myself last week.
All the time.
Even though I still did what I didn't want to do, it still
Yep.
happened. But what I love about Linda is all of her friends are just so inviting. They're so welcoming. It's the same thing. Yes, we make fun of each other, but it's different because they're straight.
Yeah.
And I don't want to put like straight and gay like are separate or
but
like
it is. It's got its own
but
vibe.
it's got its own vibe.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You
Absolutely.
hit the nail on the head. It has
And
its own vibe. And it's not negative.
No, it's not, because as a straight person, I've hung out with your friends, and it is a different vibe.
Yes.
Even going to a gay club, which absolutely is a different vibe for a straight person, they still welcome you, and it's a good welcome, but you still feel like a guest. You're never going to feel like it's your home, because
Yeah.
it doesn't represent you. But they are always welcoming.
They're very welcoming.
Yeah.
And we have so much fun. And what I love about all of them is just they love their lives.
Yeah.
They love their lives. And so I had chosen to not go. Well, the universe was like, you're gonna go, bitch. in the turn of events, I ended up getting a ticket because somebody fell out and they're like, oh, we need someone to go. And I'd asked Linda, do you have any extra tickets? She goes, well, one just became available. And it's a big group. It's over 30 of us that go, or rather, I shouldn't say us, that Linda puts together. And it's all her high school friends. And it's actually a really amazing time. And so the reason why I was hesitant to go this year, it was because last year it was Harry Connick Jr., who, by the way, is an amazing jazz singer, right?
Oh, yeah.
But it was very boring. It was so boring because he was like, and I think he was so drunk at one point that he was just like,
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was
Oh.
loaded.
Oh, he's there now.
He was loaded, and we were like, "Oh my god, is he drunk?" And he's like, "Yeah, everybody!" Like it was a lot, and then also too because we're such a lively group, we were just talking and laughing and having a good time, and people were like turning around. They were very angry, right? But I took Rice Krispies and I made friends, and I gave my Rice Krispies out to everybody, and they were fine, right? Well, I thought that would work this year. So, Linda had reserved a picnic area for us, and it was really neat. Like she coordinated it with the Hollywood Bowl. They gave us a spot. It had a really nice, clean bathroom. Like, I know, because that's apparently when you're old, that's an amazing thing.
Does Linda have like a special connection there? How'd you guys get a little spot?
No, I think she just called group ticket.
Oh, okay,
Because
I
she got
see.
so many tickets.
Yeah,
and we weren't like on the Hollywood Bowl property. We were like in this little park in Highland. You probably wouldn't even notice it if you didn't even know it was there.
Interesting.
But there's like a little sheriff station inside there, and there's all these little houses. And I'm sure there's some history, but we didn't have the opportunity to kind of like go and look at all the different signs that were posted all around.
Yeah.
Because we got there, we set up, and then people came, we drank, we walked into the Hollywood Bowl, and the show, just as we sat down, the show began.
Got it.
So as we were walking up there and the show's kind of going on, they do like the whole Star Spangled, people do the whole, and then they do, if you're part of the military, when we play your song, stand up, they do all these different things.
Yeah.
We're getting to our seats and we're trying to file in because it started and it was it wasn't super quiet, but it was the Philharmonic and they were playing like classical instrumental. And so of course, my good friend in front of me, she was laughing and then I'm going to say the old man. I'm going to say the old man and his wife turned around and they just gave the dirtiest look. And I'm like, oh, we're so sorry. Here. And I reached in my bag to do the Rice Krispie things because, I thought history repeats itself, right? Here I'm like, oh, who turned down a Rice Krispie, right? What a horrible person you are, right? What who in your lifetime fucked you over that hard that you're going to be like, right?
Maybe they were diabetic.
Aren't there pills for that though? Like, don't you take isn't there Ozempic on the side or
Just
something?
all I could think of is that they were old and diabetic. Like, we can't eat this shit.
Oh, he pretty much, that's the reaction that he did. Were you there?
No.
Literally, he was like, I don't want that.
Oh, wow.
That's exactly the way that he responded. But then in a weird turn of events, the wife had taken her meds or something that evening because she turned around and she goes, we love you. And I was like, that doesn't even match. So of course, me having a little bit to drink, I was like, okay, Trump supporters. And everyone was like, ooh, right? You could, because, I can't whisper anything. I cannot to save my life.
You'd like to instigate just like me.
I would never make
Yeah.
it in the quiet place. I'd be dead in the first 3 seconds. I'd be like, ah, ha, 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 right? I would figure something out. I would die. the little monsters would find me and hear me.
It's
you
like
know.
a tick, right? You have to say something, not to be right. It's just because
It's
just like the disrespect. You're like, I was just trying to be nice.
I was trying to be nice.
Yeah.
You deserve to get tongue
Yes,
lashed.
there you
deserve to
go.
And I get it. But then this is the best thing about the universe and karma, because karma happens to everyone.
Yeah.
I think the only gift in life is if you're actually there to witness the karmic moment, right?
Yeah.
Or you're not. And that's truly a gift from the Karma Universe. So Karma Universe she was like, oh, I love Rice Krispies. I'm going to give you gift after gift after gift, right? So it was Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it was amazing. They were amazing. And this is what I love about the Hollywood Bowl. There are certain nights where they don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And the security doesn't care. Nobody cares. Like, whatever, dance in the aisles,
Yeah,
dance
yeah.
in the concrete. Everybody. And so what their decline, because they sat pretty much the entire time, right? And I was going to offer them Rice Krispies again. And I was like, nah, suffer. Because then on purpose, you know me, being a total bitch that I am, I can be, I started giving them to other people. Here you go.
Yeah,
Here you
around
go.
them.
Around them. Here you go. You want Rice? And then people were like, oh my God, these are so good. Right? And so you could just, they were seething at that point,
Yeah.
right? Of course, I made it worse. Why would you ever deny a Rice Krispie, whether you're diabetic or not? Just take the blood sugar the next day. You'll be fine.
I mean, I ate one before the show, so what's
Okay,
up?
I mean, like they're amazing. I make really good Rice Krispies, and I don't even know what I do. Maybe I put a little extra butter, there's a little extra love, but they're delicious.
Yeah.
So, you know me, I'm always paying attention to everything. So I'm talking to this guy Jimmy, who's one of their friends, and he's like an ex. I think he's FBI or CIA or something. He's a big dude, and so we're talking, we're laughing, and as we're talking, I see people start to come late in their row, but it wasn't all at once. 3 times they got interrupted, right? And they just kept, so they were getting up, and you could see the man was getting upset, right? Because people come late.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
And by the way, we were like in the
back.
furthest section. If you're going to be so serious about the cheap seats, fucking pay the extra money and move fucking
And
forward.
then nobody would be walking or talking or doing whatever you want.
Get a box, bitch.
Yeah.
Get a box. We didn't want to do that. We had so much fun. So then Earth, Wind, and Fire came out after the whole Philharmonic played. And they were playing also too. And the guy goes, everybody get up out of your seat.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
guess what? Everybody got
And
up
they
out
couldn't
of
see
their
shit.
seats. And they couldn't see shit.
Oh, wow.
And we were dancing. And then what was great, so then I gave Rice Krispies to the security because they're just kids, you know?
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
well, here I go. I made extra. You're more than welcome. Here. And I was giving them out. I was just giving them out to everybody because, I mean, I don't want that extra sugar.
Yeah.
Even though I ate 4 yesterday. And so, we were just dancing on the concrete. We had a blast.
Yeah.
We had so much fun. And then it was firework night. So at the end of it, fireworks were going off and it was great. I got to see all of that, but I had to leave early because you know me, I burn the candle at both ends in the middle. A friend of mine asked me to pick him up at LAX. I'm like, sure, I'm going to be at the Hollywood Bowl.
He never says no.
I never say no. I'm
Never.
sure I got you. I'll go pick you up. So then, of course, I was like on the first 4 buses to go back to the car, and I got in my car, and I'm like, meh, like Cruella, lying down.
A bat out of hell, bro.
I get to LAX, and it's just packed because, of course, it's
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 LAX.
4th of July weekend. It's so packed. I mean, you can see all the cars, you can see everything. And I tell my friend, dude, go to departures. I'm like, just go to departures because arrivals is like
Out of control.
out of control. And sure enough, it took me 5 minutes to get to him on departures. If I had gone to arrivals, it would have taken me over 30 minutes to get to him.
Wow.
That's my little secret. Shit, I just gave it out. Damn it. I hate when that happens. I hate giving my little secret tricks.
heard
So then I picked
nothing.
him up, and then by the time I took him home, by the time I got home, it was 1:30 in the morning, and that was Wednesday to Thursday. And then what did I do Thursday? I was busy Thursday. Why was I so busy? This is what happens when you get old. Your dementia kicks in.
It was the day before.
Oh, but day before 4th of July. And
Yeah.
then my cousin Gina, she messaged me and she was like, hey, she's like, you know, you're always invited, but I always invite you. Come over for 4th of July. And it's true. Like I know that I'm always invited if she's doing anything for the
Yeah,
holidays.
yeah.
And but she always extends that branch of like, hey, Dee, if you want to come over, and it's like, you don't have to do that. I mean, I'll go. Of course, I would love to. I haven't seen her in a minute, also too. So that was really nice because. I don't know. It just reminds me of my grandparents whenever I go over there, and she like redid her kitchen. Man, she's been doing a lot. She's been busy.
Oh, so
also,
it's different
too.
from when we saw it last year?
It's very different.
Wow.
It's beautiful. Oh man, she got like a Viking stove.
Oh, wow.
And a Sub-Zero refrigerator, and I was like, damn! Oh my god, the things I would put in there and store. But yeah, so my Thursday was busy. I was running around to markets, and I was running around doing stuff. Because you know me, I'm very last minute.
Oh, yeah.
Last minute Larry, and I was waiting for stuff to come from Amazon because I ordered these like red, white, and blue little sprinkles. I was semi-patriotic. I was a hint of patriotism. Just a little bit, yeah, right. Just a poof of patriotism.
Because we at least miss the old America. This America, I don't know about it right now.
Under his eye. So then I went up there, and actually there was no traffic. So all of her friends were there, and all of her family. I got to see my tia Sylvia, my uncle Roy, and my cousins, and my cousin's new baby. I got to see him too, and it was really nice. It was I had an opportunity to kind of like relax. You know, she does everything. Her and her husband, Chris. Poor Chris, her husband. Let me tell you.
They always have parties at that house.
They're always
having
now she has all
parties.
the storage. Like going back to her remodel, it's like now she is legit ready to go for all parties. She's always doing stuff.
I got a question because you had mentioned before all this that it kind of reminds you of your grandparents. So what makes it give you that feeling?
Back in the day, my grandparents were always having parties. We were always having barbecues at their house, and we were always in the backyard. They had this like porch patio. You know what I'm talking about? Where it's a porch, but it's technically a patio.
Yeah.
Like it was enclosed. And we would hang out there, and we'd play, and we would just, we would just be. And my grandparents would barbecue, or my grandma would make something. And, and Gina likes that, and I'm the same way too. I just don't have the facilities to kind of do that. If I had a full-time home, I'm all over the place. I'm like, I'm in Italy today. I'm all over the place. And so I'm always looking for that area.
Yeah.
Because I would do the same thing too. We love to entertain.
Yeah.
And I still make so much food as if I'm going to feed an army.
So they kind of took over that mantle after your grandparents
they
passed.
definitely did. She definitely did. Plus, they travel. They camp a lot. They go different places and stuff. But she made her delicious chili beans, and it was very simple. It was very easy. They did tri-tip and hot dogs, and it was wonderful. And I got to swim in the pool. And what was nice was, because I remember, it was a little nostalgic, because all the grandkids and all the little nephews and cousins and all the little kids, they wanted to light fireworks. And it reminded me of my cousin Paul.
Yeah.
When we would try to light fireworks, and then D, you light them, right? And I was like, oh, I'm always the one to get nominated. But I loved it, right? Even though I like roll my eyes. No, I loved it. And it reminded me of that, because that's the new generation coming up. And, it was nice to just sit there and watch them light fireworks and enjoy all the fireworks going off. And it was nice.
So you saw it this way. Oops, excuse me. So you saw it this way.
Yeah.
So you were here one point, and maybe your mom, your dad, your grandma were here, and now it's flipped.
Now it's
weird?
flipped.
Isn't that weird?
It's beyond weird, because then you're just like, shit, I'm fucking old, right?
Yeah.
Because you're like, that used to be me running around, jumping through the fireworks, or trying to light sparklers, or trying to do something, and getting yelled at by my parents or by my grandparents. Make sure you have a bucket of water, right? And that was Gina, bucket of water right away. So it's kind of funny because she's always worried about something. There's spiders, there's lizards, there's always all sorts of things that she's worried about. So yeah, so it was very busy 4th of July week for me. I mean, did you do anything?
I saw, there was a point I used to enjoy 4th of July, but once you have dogs, it becomes a little bit harder. And I kind of just have to hang out at the house to make sure my dogs are okay. And it's not really that big of a deal because I grew up next to Disneyland. So fireworks for me have depleted in enjoyment, because you would just hear bangs going off all the time. Plus, we have Disneyland passes, so I pretty much see fireworks all year round.
Yeah, that's true. But remember, like Linda's wine, we shouldn't take things for granted.
True. I just, for me, it didn't feel very celebratory either.
I agree.
So-
I agree. And I think, yes, I agree.
And to add to that, I come from a neighborhood that 100% loves to light illegal fireworks. And this year was the first year that maybe 2 or 3 houses next to me were lighting them.
Really?
When normally it was the entire blocks, and you would have boom, boom, boom. You know, every 5-10 seconds, another one going off. Boom, boom, boom. Just fast, fast, fast. And this year was very quiet.
I was surprised when I got home there that evening to my home. It was going until 2 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah, if not further, it was going all night long, and it was like every few. And I was like, I like to sleep with the windows open, but that night I was like,
You can't. No,
I
you got to
closed
close your
it.
windows.
And then the next day, it was all that fog, but it was just residual smoke.
Yep.
The marine layer had trapped all that residual smoke, so you're just like, and you're like, it's so foggy. And I'm like, no, that's smoke.
Yeah,
That's
it's
crazy.
really, really bad.
I never realized how much it polluted the environment.
Yeah, they don't
But
tell
they
you
are
that.
fun. I can't complain. I do love
I
fireworks.
know you do love fireworks, Katy
I
Perry.
love fireworks. I do. I love them. Hopefully, Angelo has been doing it like Danny, and we're going to have him back on soon. And maybe Darnella. I don't know what Darnella's been doing. I
Yeah,
haven't
what
heard
has
from
she
her.
been doing?
I don't know. I haven't heard from her. She's another one. She calls me when the heat of the night loaded. I think I texted her the night of the Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah.
And I was like, I love you, friend. I miss you. She was like, Daniel, have you been drinking? Daniel. Not as much as her, but yeah. I had some wine, some delicious wine. Thanks again to Linda and her delicious wine. And as you can see, it's getting dark out. And so we're going to be ending the show because noise ordinances here in Sorrento, Italy will start to go into effect. And we don't want to pay any extra euro. So with all that being said, I hope that you had an enjoyable 4th of July holiday and week. And I want you to remember that we're going to be here on YouTube forever. Stop listening. Watch the show. And remember to always do it like Danny.
Keep talking.
Hello.
No, see, yeah, you can't chin it. Yeah, you can't put it under your chin. I know you probably want to do that, but you don't want it on the show. You got to take it head on. You know what I'm saying?
God, if I had a nickel.
I was hoping you would say something.